Alrighty, welcome. Here we are, and we're going to start chapter 1. And so at the top of your notes, make sure you write down 1-1, variables and expressions. And as we get going here, what I want you to make sure is that you are continuously making sure you're staying up to speed. You can pause the video at any time. You can rewind, stop and start as you need to get the notes in here. One thing that we're starting this year is focusing on something called learning targets. And so as soon as you get this heading down, I want you to write this statement down. You don't have to write the words learning target, but I want you to write I can. And then we're going to add on here basically today's objective for learning. And today what you're going to do is you're going to write I can evaluate algebraic expressions. By the time you're done with this video, you'll be a master at how you can evaluate algebraic expressions. Alrighty? So here's your first example. We need to identify some things, and then we'll start evaluating. So take a look at this on the screen I have here right now. It says 2a plus 5. Now, each of these components has a special name, and we'll start with the 2. 2 is a number that appears here in front of this variable a. It's being multiplied. Even though there's not a sign there, it implies multiplication. And 2 has the name coefficient. So write the word coefficient, draw an arrow up or down to that number 2. Coefficient is a number. It multiplies a variable. Second comes the variable. That is, in this case, our letter a. I don't have any name given to the operation sign for adding, but we could if we wanted to. And the last label that we're going to put on here is for the 5. And what we refer the 5 to as is a constant. Okay, a constant. It's a number that doesn't change. And as we get more and more into this chapter, I'll be using this vocabulary all the time, so I want you to become familiar with it. All of these things together are what we call an algebraic expression. Okay, that's what we're talking about today. Now, the variable is a value that can change. And so today what you're going to do is get algebraic expressions, and I'm going to give you a value to substitute for the variable, and you simply need to perform the operations and get a final answer. So let's look at some examples. The first one here says evaluate x plus 12.3 or 12 3/10 for a value of x equaling 4.5 or 4 5/10. So I give you a hint here and I say substitute 4.5 for x. So let's go ahead and do that. I need you, and let me get my pen on here. What you're going to do is after you write x plus 12.3, you're going to write in 4.5 plus 12.3. Now, me personally, when I add, I like to write things vertically, especially with decimals, and line up the decimal point. So I'm going to write it this way vertically. All right, start from the right. Put your decimal point in the right spot, and I get 16 8/10. That's all you have to do. Let's look at another one. And again, pause the video so you can stay on top of things and catch up when you need to. Our expression is 2m plus 7, and I want you to substitute a 5 where m is. Now, when I substitute the 5 in, this means 2 times 5. Because 2m means 2 times m. 2 times 5 plus 7. Remember your order of operations. This simply gives you 10. And 10 plus 7, our final answer will be 17. Bingo. Next one. Each one is going to get a little more complicated, so I want you to stay with me. This algebraic expression is 6 times, and then we have parentheses, n plus 2, and then minus 4. But this time, what I want you to do is substitute in 3 values. So you're going to do 3 operations or 3 different problems. So the first one is 6, and then we're going to substitute a 3 in for n. 3 plus 2. and then subtract 4. Okay, so as we do this one, first order of operation says do the parentheses, so that's 5. 6 times 5, and then minus 4. And apologize for my writing. My normal tool isn't working, so I'm using the mouse. 30 minus 4. Final answer, 26. All right, now that was evaluating for n is 3. Now let's do n is 4. So this time we start at the top, 6 parentheses, 4 plus 2. Wow, that looks really good. 4 plus 2, and then minus 4. Okay, that means we have 6 times, in parentheses, 4 plus 2 is 6, and then subtract 4. We get 36 minus 4. You can probably do this faster than I can painstakingly try to do this with this mouse. And your final answer in this case is 32. Last but not least, evaluate this for 5. 6 times the quantity 5 plus 2. 5 plus 2. Here we go. And then minus 4. Alrighty, 6 times, in this case, 7, and then minus 4. 6 times 7 is 42. 42 minus 4 gives you 38. Let me get that written down. Here we go. Circle it. Okay. All right, last but not least here, what if you have two variables, 4x plus 3y? There's an algebraic expression. I want you to substitute a value of 2 for x and 1 for y. Here we go. 4x means 4 times x, and I want you to use a value of 2. 3y means 3 times y, and y has a value of 1. Remember your order of operations. Multiplication happens before addition. 4 times 2 is 8. 3 times 1 is 3. 8 plus 3 is 11. Bingo! There you go. That is what evaluating algebraic expressions means. And so now you can evaluate algebraic expressions. Your assignment is to open up your workbook and work through page 1. On this, similar problems like this, I want you to show me your work. Don't just give me the answers. So I literally want you to write 6 times 3. Let me get my multiplication dot in there, and plus 2, and evaluate from there. All right, so don't just write an answer. I need to see your work. Good luck, get started, and let me know if you have questions.